Good Good evening. We are going to begin our Winterville Human Relations Board meeting for Thursday, September 25th. Um, it's being called to order at this time. Our second item is an invocation, which I will ask our Councilwoman Robertson if she could please do the invocation for us. And then immediately following, we will do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us bow our heads. Our Heavenly Father, we give thanks. We give thanks for the ability to live in a community such as Winterville and to enjoy the citizens. We ask you to guide this Human Relations Council to be an asset to our community, to help bring us together even more. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to proceed by welcoming everyone to the meeting. Especially Councilwoman Robertson's beautiful granddaughter, who is present. Thank you for being here in attendance, in addition to our newest alternate member. I don't know if we ever take official attendance.
We do. I do.
You do? Can we just do it in order for our alternate member to have that introduction by name? And Councilman Robertson, we will start with you.
Town Liaison, Veronica Robertson, Councilwoman.
Dennis Bottoms.
Christy Leary, Rashana Carmen,
Chantel Hawkins.
Victoria Roach, Deidre Gregory,
Shree Daniels.
And by that attendance, everyone is present from the board and with regards to the board. And so our next item is item number 5 for excused absences. I don't know if that is applicable because everyone is here. So everyone has just voiced their attendance and they are here. So we are going to move forward with number 6, which is the approval of the agenda. So I would ask that everyone take a moment and look through the agenda. If you have any questions, see something that may be out of order, please make it known. Now that that moment has passed, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
I motion to approve the agenda.
We have a motion, can we have a second?
I second the motion.
We have a motion made by Mrs. Roach and seconded by Mr. Bottoms to approve the agenda. Can I have a show of hands with approval of these motions? And so we have a unanimous vote for the approval of the agenda that we will be working through this evening. The next item is the approval of minutes. And so as you can see in our packet, there are minutes. Just looking through the dates beginning in March. I want you to take a moment to really look through it and see anything. And then Give another moment and then seek a motion. Now that we have had a few moments, does anyone need additional moments to go through the minutes? Those who can have those moments. Can we have a motion to approve the minutes that have been provided?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion made by Vice Chair Carmen. We need a second.
Second.
We have the motion seconded by Mrs. Roach. Can I have a show of hands in agreement with the motion to approve the minutes? And I see all hands raised, and that is a unanimous vote. Be recorded. Next is the items for discussion. And the first item is the America 250 writing contest. And now I will ask Councilwoman Robertson to share.
This comes from the Pitt County Human Relations Board. Bayong Lee, which is a member of that board, brought this to us. And what it is that it's a contest for young people to write poetry, celebrating our country's 250th anniversary, which is this summer. But, the contest runs through the first of next year. And of course, there are monetary prizes, I think somewhere around $250 and on like that for the poems. And what it is that you write, they get a picture that represents America, whether it's American history or whatever. And under it, they write a 5-line poem. And of course, these be judged and, go through those areas like that. But I did want to bring it to our town to ask to you to ask for your support of it. In support, I mean a monetary donation for it. And if any of you are interested in serving on the committee to write the poetry, or even I can get some examples from Mr. Bayong Lee while he's talking about. He had quite a few poems there at our meeting that he shared with us. But basically, it's a picture of something from our history or that represents America. It could be a bridge, it could be, it gives us the opportunity also to bring our community in, because you're talking about, we have the Ainge House, we have, unfortunately, we lost, well, the house was not that old anyway, but the Ainge House and the Depot are two things that stand out to me, as being something that some of our children could write about and everything. He didn't have like ages and stuff at that time, I don't think. He didn't have it. And I will get flyers about it. But I bring it to you as a opportunity to partner with the Pitt County Human Relations Board.
Does anyone have any questions related to the information that Councilwoman Robertson as just shared.
Where would they turn this information into if they would like to participate?
Um, right now, you know, it's with the Human Relations Board of Pitt County.
Okay.
And of course, you know, we have a liaison also, and, I'm a member, and, Councilwoman Chantel are members of it. So, that would be, right now, that's your contact points. It hasn't, everything's not just set in stone right now. He's looking for sponsors, people to help sponsor it. And of course, you know, go from there onto specifics.
So they don't have a date that it needs to be submitted yet?
No, his timeline goes into April of next year, so that's why this is so early.
Okay.
April and May of next year, as for, you know, submissions and final, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay, and would the format be written or computer or different ways that they can?
Well, of course, you know, got type, you know, I don't say it's got to be typed, but the ones that he showed us were typed.
Okay.
It had the picture to the top, and I think the thing is that to really get our children out looking at the area and looking at how we tie into, if you're not familiar with this 250 project, I think I brought it to this board earlier. These packets they gave us, and they had a meeting in the different communities where the communities could share with that group that was, you know, doing it. They talked about the history of that town or whatever the things were. They didn't have one here in Winterville because, right now, it seems like things that are happening on our end are being grouped together with Aiden. So they had one in Aiden, that you could go and talk about the history of the United States. But of course, next year, 250th anniversary, we'll be bombarded probably with a lot of things to celebrate the country's birthday. But if you want copies of this, I think you made copies of it. You made copies of it at one point.
I could always do it again.
You can get some copies.
I would like a copy.
And you can read about what has been planned. And of course, I would ask, you know, you all, if you could, I see you're looking at budget, so, if you could think about, if you would, could think about doing this, be a great idea, great way to partner with the Pitt County Human Relations Board.
So my comment is, I'm familiar with, Mr. Lee, asking to present a project. I didn't know the details of the project because I had to attend something else, so I missed that meeting. Did he give a suggested, donation amount?
He didn't. The total amount he's looking at though is 4,600. That was what he said then, but it's not known. That's the total.
That's total.
The total price.
So,
Total thing. So I'm quite sure he'll take. Well, he was very adamant. You know, if you don't finance it, I'm financed it. So it's gonna be, you know, it's something that he wants to do, and
so any discussion or thoughts from the, board? I don't know if you all would like to, receive more concrete, like, information in a document, but Councilwoman Robertson, pretty much summed it up in terms of it is a poetry contest about America, but Brian Lee, which is a member of the Pitt County Human Relations Board, is, I guess, heading this project and has reached out to us to see if we want to partner by contributing a said amount. So part one, we would have to decide if that's something we want to do. And part two, a set amount, which would come out of our budget. But it would also give us the opportunity to have youth participate. But if you all want to err on the side of getting like a document, because, Councilwoman Robertson, we would have to bring this before the town council, am I correct? Before we do anything as far as give money out of our budget or participate in this, this project.
Robertson comment, but when you have your budget and spend it on the items that you see fit that are reasonable in nature, without them, and you also, being two-fifths of the board, but I think you could spend within your budget on items that are worthy. This obviously is a worthy project. It's coming from the Pitt County, Board of Relations, Human Relations,
And thank you, but I said that because in the past, we've gotten approval from the council on events and things that we have done. So we've had to go to the council and get approval, so I just want to follow that order. Now, if we don't have to get approval, for this, project,
I think you got plenty of time, so if you wanted to do that, because it's been done like that in the past, it would be fine. But, of course, it should come from this board to our board.
absolutely. So, and then in the meantime, perhaps we could have, like, I never got a copy, I probably did get a copy a long time ago, but when the 250 project began, and I've gone on, tour, to another town, but my mom was sick at that time, so I don't know much about it and would love to know more, and I totally support buying Lee, but I think the board needs some more concrete information, and then they'll be able to decide what range they might want to contribute as a board, in lieu of us planning out our roadmap of events. So we will, we love the idea, but we'll table it maybe before the next meeting, get the documents, get more information.
if I can get the document, I'll disseminate to the entire board for everybody to have. Or maybe I can dig it up. I may have it, but right now I don't know where I may have it. If you've got it, Ms. Robertson, I'm confiscated.
I got this.
You're not in a real big hurry. I'll just run it before you leave tonight.
Thank you for presenting and sharing that with our council. Does anyone have any other discussion with regards to item 1?
All right, now, should I report back to him that we are in favor? Because, we'll meet next month. I think we meet October, but when it gets down to Thanksgiving, Christmas, things start changing. I'd like to know if if this group was in favor of supporting it.
What, I'm in favor.
Because, you know how hard it is to get something out in Pitt County schools. Y'all know that, right? You know how hard it is to get things out as far as a body, And, that's the thing I was looking at, that if this group were to support it, when the information went out, our name would be on, your name would be on everything that goes out. So, are you in favor of supporting it? Are you not? I can't get specifics right now, because it's not specified as he hasn't sat down and said, okay, we're gonna do April this, May this. But I do know that he's planning on, that the project that he's planning is next year. So we do have time to get on board and, everything, but, if we wait too long, we may miss the opportunity to work with our Pitt County citizens in that way.
So I would say this was just presented to us, and while we're interested, I think it would only be fair for the board to at least have a concrete document, and then, because the project won't go into effect until next year, even if we came next month and said, and made an official vote, or in between now and then. That's just my thought, but the board has a right to share their thoughts. With regards, do we want to say that we're all in, we want to support the project, or we want to wait to get more information? It's totally up to everyone. I am in favor of it. However, I do not have any detail, in terms of the project.
I'm in favor of it, I just think that we should get some more concrete information, review the packet and come back with a decision, possibly, I think we can do that.
Yeah,
Everyone was able to view
So,
the packet.
basically, I can tell them you favorably, but you, of course, like everybody else, more information.
Yeah.
Which, we know that that has not been done.
and also, we really haven't discussed like our budget and what we're gonna
Right.
be doing with our funds, at this point, so I definitely would like to do it, but I think we should definitely discuss what we're, the activities that we already have planned, and, as far as budgeting is concerned. Because how much money do we even have to spend right now? Is it up there? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
Transition,
Is that,
so that's your next item on your.
okay, got it.
Discussion.
But for this item, it sounds like everyone is in favor of some type of support.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If it's nothing
Support
but
the
helping getting the word out.
Right.
Yes. We're just letting him know we heard, we received the information, and we're highly, interested in it, but we want more, before we settle on contributing as well as, giving our voices to participate, but we're interested. And thank you for bringing that to the Human Relations Board so that we can, be a collaborative factor in it. Any other board member with any discussion about item number 1? If there's no more discussion, we're going to proceed to item number 2, budget status. And we will ask Town Clerk Harvey to elaborate, share, and then if you look on the last page, it appears to be a budget of numbers.
It's really self-explanatory that, like you said, it's the last page in your packet there, and it spells out that you started with 5,000. That's your budget for this year, and you have spent $324.99 to date, and I'll be glad to answer any other questions that you might have. 6.5% to date. Yes.
And of course, and just wanted to share this, with Ms. Daniels being present, we were given a budget. It starts July 1st, right? And it goes to the end of June, am I correct? And, we as a board try to come up with some events as we're launching into the community, fostering our mission. And what you see here is an event that we had during the Watermelon Festival, where we had a tent and provided surveys to those attendees of the Watermelon Festival that were also Winterville residents, and these are some of the items that we had. So that's what's listed and the reason why it's listed and the cost.
Madam Chair, I would point out that, those major expenses you had, you have those items, they're here in safekeeping, and you'll be able to use those as long as they'll last. So that's sort of a one-time expense, at least for a number of years. That won't be reoccurring every year or ever 2 or 3 times this year. Well, the candy, you'll have to buy some more candy if you have other things.
Thank you for that, because I was wondering what the fiscal year was, or how it ran. Thank you.
What about your back to school event? Is it
That was this budget year.
Yeah, we used that, the
Monies
monies
was-
from the
okay.
previous.
okay?
Yep, thank you for that question. So here's the budget. We have $4,675.01. And then that would, if anyone from the board has any questions with regards to the budget, or how we, like, say, once we do our roadmap, then we will decide like expenses or estimate. So as we're doing our roadmap, we can cross-check it with the budget along the way, and then periodically also ask for up-to-date amount of what we have left. But this is the budget. I'll check on in a minute or so. Did anyone have any questions with regards to the budget status as of to date? If not, we're going to move on to item number 3, which is upcoming events. If you want to reference the last minutes or provide us with an update from the last one. The last set of minutes from August will be found.
The last set of minutes?
Yes, this is minutes from March through August, and the August one will get us up to date where we left off. And we were looking at our roadmap of activities, but we also was honing in on October. Did any board member want to read aloud what that says from, I guess, almost the middle of the page with regards to that, or if not, I can read it.
When we discussed the trunk or treat event that we're
Yes,
talking about?
yes.
Okay.
Well, I think this one.
Yes, and for the September,
Mhm.
the Hispanic Heritage Month activity.
Yes.
Did we get any feedback from those organizations?
I did. I heard back from Casa Azul of Wilson,
They said that they're able to participate, they're willing to come out and set up a table, we just have to give them more information, but they'll be happy to help. And that's the same with a Mexican, they said the same thing, they just needed a specific date, so they can send someone out as well.
That's the same feedback that I got, for the date. They did say, I spoke with Ireland, with Carefalot, who knows the pastor, Jamie Hernandez, that is with the mission at Parker's Chapel. They need a date, the 18th of January was kind of out, that's when they're having their big festival, so that will not work.
You said they were in?
Well, basically, you say Jamie, Hernandez with the Hispanic Missions at Parker's Chapel.
Okay.
Also, Cantina Health, if they need a date. They possibly have people that can bring out folklore dancing, a Venezuelan lady that can come out and give us some cultural information, but it is all contingent on the date.
And so I think all of the updates are promising. I think at this point, the opportunity is there for our board to look at a date. We know that Hispanic Heritage Month goes from September 15th through October 15th. We are nearing the end of September. Perhaps we can maybe propose or look at 3 different dates so that we can offer that to the willing organizations. But then also, if it veers off of October or past Hispanic Heritage Month, I don't think the organizations would mind. Like, I don't think we have to stay right in there because promoting culture is something that they probably wouldn't mind and they understand.
So I would suggest that we may have to go outside of the October 15th, only because, I mean, were we looking at a Saturday for this event? This would be.
Ideally, Saturday would work. Saturday would work.
I remember, okay, I know we had talked about something similar to Market on the Square. I didn't know if we were gonna extend it to another Thursday. Robinson, you suggested.
So if I can recall, and let me look it through the minutes,
They were saying that the last market on the square is September 18th.
Okay, so we're kind
And could potentially use that venue on another date or use a community room as an alternative. That's what the minutes were saying.
just an idea I think would be safer to utilize the community room. Due to getting to middle of October and it can be inclement weather, or we could prospectively say, hey, agree, hey, the Market on the Square is no longer being utilized. How can we as a board utilize that space for a target date? But just having something in the community room where they can set up, it's indoor, it's safe, and with availability. That's up to the board, whatever your thoughts are.
So that area can't be used another time for events
I
or?
think it can. I'm pretty sure, and Councilwoman Robertson, please, help me with this. In terms of the Market on the Square, that space is still part of town of Winterville, am I correct? In
Yes.
terms of,
But
and,
it has not been used by any other groups.
right,
But that does not mean it can't be done. Space, and it hasn't been done. And, something we've considered.
And it's, I know it's utilized monthly by the Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber and the, well, Market and Square started with the town, and then it became a chamber function.
Madam Chair, as we look for an inside, i.e. the community room, it will not be available from October 24th through November 5th for the elections.
That's right.
Correct.
That's right.
And I don't have the calendar, would have to check with the people, or the girl that schedules it for any other dates, but I do know that Board of Elections will be in there those days.
Sure will. So that's all. So right now, so unless we can get the scheduler, we could give prospective dates, but those would just be tentative, contingent upon what the scheduler has in terms of availability.
Space across the street.
Yeah, so for the community room, but the space across the street, if it's not being utilized, what I'm thinking that the process is going to be is if we make a motion to utilize it on said dates, or this date or that date, if one date doesn't work and another does, we can make a motion, but again, we would have to come back to the council, and the next town council meeting is on the 13th of October. So once the 13th hits, if that is approved, then we could tell the organizations. So the only other option is to wait to see if what's available by schedule for the community room, or await this being brought before the town council. We do know we want to do it.
I sound like October is gonna not be a good month either.
And then we get into November, so it's a lot of stuff in December, so.
And then the market on the square might be a little chilly out there, you know, mid. I always say that just this space right here, chairs can be moved. That's just me. So what does the board feel would be an adequate path forward? Community room and wait to see what the scheduling looks like, or await town council's decision, which could prospectively have a vote that says, no, we're not utilizing that for other board activities, because this would be the first.
I have a question. Who does the depot belong to? Because it has a massive lawn.
That is handled by the Winterville Historic and Arts Society. They handle all the dates and also the rental and the fees that are applied to that. It is not the town's.
The only investment the citizens make is in keeping the grounds. And we have used it for special things that the town has had to do dispositions and different things like that. It's been used by town government, so it's an extra space for town government. If the Human Relations Board, I was gonna suggest that, so I'm glad you did.
Because I think with the festival, I think the outside of the festival, especially if there's people with food trucks, or if we have, cultural dancing. But that is definitely a massive yard and a space that could be utilized inside and out. So who would we need to speak to about that?
Same people, police department.
For the
Don't they keep
depot? No,
They don't?
the Historic Art Society handles that. They do it all now. You make arrangements with them, payment with them, fill out the agreement with
I don't have
them.
mine.
So
Them, we don't,
Contact.
we would have to pay
Yes,
for
ma'am.
that space though. Would we have to pay for that
That's what I
space?
was just about to ask.
You can talk to him and see what he
I'll
would
have
do.
to pay for that.
Talk to him and see what he would do. I won't say yes and I won't say no. Just read. You wanna do it, Sean? Don't you have him on your email? Just Reds with the Historical Society?
I can get in contact with him, and Miss Leary has his contact, and so what we can move forward with, because that does sound promising. That depot has two big rooms inside, bathroom,
Kitchen,
yes.
both doors open, and then the yard has picnic tables, there's parking, and there's outside.
So my only concern, which is great, y'all, which is great, but realistically speaking, which I still wanna do the event, but if we have it outside, we're kinda limited to the time. So with that, I don't want it to be like a rushed event, we won't have time to get the word out. So if we're looking at dates, and if we're trying to do outside, which, I would love to, we don't have many dates to get it done, especially with their Hispanic, the big festival for Pitt County, the Hispanic Heritage Festival on the 18th, that cuts that date out. And I think if we were trying to do something on the 4th or the 11th, I don't think we would have enough time to get the word out. Then there's Halloween, so what dates will we realistically be able to get everything in place logistically and get the word out to the people that need to attend?
I personally would say next year. I mean, that's what I would say, but it's completely up to the board, what you guys would like to do. So, because I know they have a month, so we can specifically like key in on that. And I know we already have some things going on this month, that we had previously discussed, but, it's only up to the board.
Unless we do something for Thanksgiving, I mean, it's highlighting that community. I mean, it doesn't have to be what we thought initially, only because of the time we are kind of running out. But we can still highlight Hispanic heritage, maybe not a month, but maybe doing something, I don't know. I'm just thinking Thanksgiving,
I have a question. How much time do we need to put it out? Because if you're gonna do something on the 25th October, and then the board, it's gotta come before the council, on the 13th, you have 2 weeks to get everything out to the community. And the people that we already, well, not we, that you all have already spoken to, if you can give them the tentative date for the 25th, provided it's approved by the town on the 13th, you have 2 weeks to get the information out there. And the people that you had talked to, I'm sure they can get the word out in the community a lot faster than the town of Winterville.
Okay, I guess so.
I think that that's a good suggestion, being that these organizations have been reached out to already. And while they have said, October 18th, we totally cannot do that, even if they, a lot of them within each of the organizations can't come out, they can send a representative. And if we prospectively have it at the depot, it will still highlight and identify the cultures. I think it's worth a shot to try. I know that Halloween is something that we're planning for, but realistically, we talked about this last month. We're coming back now. We still have like some dates. But then also, if it's up to the depot, like whoever's in charge of it, they might say, hey, the 25th is not available. So then that would seal that. But just to maybe try or do a next step I think our first step needs to be to see the availability of the depot. And if they don't have availability, then we probably do need to table it. Because, community room is not gonna be available. We, are at a risk for the town council, not, approving the, market on the square. So the depot would be, more likely to be the place that we have it, but we don't know what dates.
I definitely agree with that. We also have to look at our calendar with all the things that happen. Because we do have the trunk or treat on the 31st.
Yes.
So that would push us into November, where it will start getting cold, and then we're trying to get something for Thanksgiving. So we definitely need to look at the calendar for ourselves, plus the things we're doing. Because if we're gonna show up, we need to show up right.
Yes.
Can I ask a question? Am I able to ask a question?
You can,
Ask a
you
que-
just can't go. You can-
Right, I just want to ask a question. What's happening on October the 18th? Is that something with Pitt?
So just my people that I reached out to, Greenville is having their Hispanic festival. So that event is probably gonna be packed with everyone that we've
A lot of
already
these
reached out to is gonna be
organizations.
participating at that event. And I think that's gonna be held at the town commons.
Yes.
And the other thing, so, because I heard just a few minutes ago that with Bayou League, they're thinking about partnering. Have we thought about partnering reverse with Pitt County? In other words, they're already doing everything. Has Winterville thought about partnering with them since they already have everything? I'm just asking.
Greenville, you speak about Greenville?
Yeah, since Greenville already has all of the vendors that you all are talking about, all of the, whatever, those individuals,
Organizations.
the organizations that are coming out, so then the thing that would be left for us would be marketing within this area, but then pushing, or that way. I'm just asking.
That's a great point. I think what we were kind of concerned about was getting that involvement inside of Winterville itself.
Gotcha.
Because of our Hispanic community.
Makes
We wanted
sense.
To have something here in Winterville for them, but that is still a great point.
Thank you.
That is something we definitely.
Yeah. That was, that was a good point. But we would, again, like I say, we would just have to show up and be supportive in a way, but it will not have a presence here in Winterville. So, I like the discussion, because we find that it is very important to include our Hispanic culture during their month and celebrate their culture. But how we do it and how we get it done, it is not solidified at this time. So just my suggestion, and I want the board to give their suggestions at this point. I think our next steps should be to reach out to the depot, to Mr. Riggs, and then if Mr. Riggs, if there's no date available, prospectively the 25th, maybe even, I know election day is November 4th, or that first weekend, November, the 8th.
Well, the first is actually on Saturday.
The
But that's
first,
also after the trunk or treat.
right after.
Right,
Yeah.
and I would like to say that if they're not going to lend the depot to us for purposes of utilizing it without a charge, then we have to think about if that's something that we want to budget for. Because we're not charging a fee for setup. And the last time I checked, I know it's probably about a $250 fee. And I think it's about $100 deposit. So we have to see if that is something that, while it's a very important cause, if we're ready to fund that this year.
And your membership, if you would be members of it, it reduces the amount of you have to pay. Human, in historical
Okay.
gardens,
Okay.
you can join. Is, groups can join. And that way we're cutting out on our fee for, police. Even if-
Also, and because I've rented the space before, I would like to say one thing about it. When you rent it, someone has to be there from the time the doors are open to the time the doors are closed. That's all. Say we want this space from 10 to 6, someone has to be on site.
And, I know it probably, most likely has to be left in the same condition and all those other stipulations.
Got the rules.
So, again, that would be a prospective next step, the depot, just looking at that, but then whatever date they have available, we have to then go to the organization. Are you available then? If they are not and we can't match that, we probably might need to wait until, I don't think we have to, it would be great ideally to have an event during Hispanic Heritage Month, but just to highlight Hispanic heritage could happen in the spring. It doesn't happen in, we could plan for it on our roadmap for the spring, as opposed to all the way next year. With the festival or whatever they want to do, it would be more ideal.
Whatever the council decides, but, I prefer spring.
Yeah, just so it won't be rushed, because it shows, it shows that we're really serious, which we are genuine about it, so we don't wanna rush an event, but I mean,
I agree. And I think we've had a robust discussion about it, like I said, we're serious about it, we want to do it, but we want to take the right steps, and this is crunch time. We got election time, we got Halloween, we got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas, but if we have reached out to them and they were willing to say, hey, we want to go ahead and push it to spring, and then while we're doing our roadmap, we could go ahead and plug it in, like Mr. Leary said, in a balance of what we're doing. Mr. Bottoms, what are your thoughts on us looking at, we can reach out to them just to see if something is available, but it's still crunch time, but then also maybe spring.
I like spring.
We want to do spring, so we don't even have to reach out to them. Because it would just set a whole nother thing. Okay. So with that being said, in all of our discussion, I am going to try and, we as a board, get us to solidify us looking at spring for the Human Relations Board hosting a Hispanic Heritage Month. Now, do we need to make a motion for that so that we can put that on the roadmap, or do it on the roadmap first? We know we want it this spring, so I don't even think, do we have to make a motion?
I think you need to
Make a motion? Can I have a motion that will designate the event for the Hispanic Heritage Month for spring of 2026?
I motion that. I second.
So we have a motion made by Mrs. Leary for for us to designate Hispanic Heritage Month for the spring of 2026, and it was seconded by Vice Chair Carmen. Can I have a show of hands in agreement with this motion? And we have a unanimous vote, so that will be noted on the minutes. that we are looking at spring of 2026 for our Hispanic Heritage Month event. And so with looking at the agenda, we talked about the trunk or treat. So we know we're not going to have the Hispanic Heritage Month anymore. So the trunk or treat, and we talked about two things, prospectively collaborating with the town as they provide trunk or treat here in the vicinity of the town, and also another option in terms of going into the inner parts of Winterville, where some of the children and youth cannot readily get to the town's area. While that's closed off, some youth are not gonna have a parent that's gonna walk them over or drive them over. And that is the difference between some youth having parents with transportation or other supportive factors to get them over, and other youth not being able to have that transportation. So I know in discussion, I shared that I don't mind going in the Hillcrest area as well as any other areas where the youth cannot get to the trunk or treat and then come back. I don't know if we had a definitive way in which that would be done, but that was just my suggestion, because that date is special for every youth.
Did we find out what date the town was gonna do the trunk or treat?
We talking about the Fright Fest downtown with the chamber and everything. That is on Sunday, the 26th.
I did call 360 Golf Carts to see if they would lend us a golf cart, and they were willing to do that, but, I thought the date was the 31st, so I will actually call them back.
Right.
Because they were booked for the 31st, and see if they have some availability.
I would say as part of what the chamber is doing, they're having a golf cart parade also
On the same day.
On the 26th.
on the 26th. Yeah.
Oh, is that going through the neighborhoods? Do we know, we have the?
I don't know the details of it, I just know that it is at the same time.
That might be something, that sounds good. Ask them to go through those neighborhoods that we're talking about, over, Winterville Court, Pinecrest, you know, those neighborhoods like that. That would be a good way to do it.
That would be amazing. So we are now at September 25th, which gives us a full month before the event. And if Mrs. Leary will be able to reach back out to 360, 26, if they could provide a few golf carts,
And
get in there and get some candy out.
Mr. Harvey, what time is the parade, the golf cart parade?
I'm looking for that right this
Okay.
second.
make sure that they include Lane Street in there. Lane Street.
Rain Street?
Yeah, it's a highly Hispanic area, you know, right there across from my church.
Yes.
That area in there is they have a lot of gatherings too, and so.
Okay.
So just to be clear, they are having the golf cart parade and trunk or treat on the 26th of October.
I'm gonna clarify that right now. Make sure. Okay, the Fright Fest is on October 26th from 3 to 6 in downtown Winterville. And the Fright Fest Golf Cart Parade is at 6 p.m. on the 26th.
I wonder if they give a route, like, you know how when we have a parade, there's a route.
There will be a route that has to be described. I don't have it right here.
Okay.
Do we have a contact person that is organizing?
Chamber of Commerce. And you mentioned 360 golf carts. They are working with the chamber on that part.
It sounds like once contact is made with 360 by Mrs. Larry, which we are thankful for, that contact and connection, we'll have more of a definitive view in terms of if they will have golf carts available for the Winterville Human Relations Board to participate in the parade as well. And then if so, we would find out the route, and that will help us to include everyone be a part.
And if not, you could probably take the golf carts to the area. You know, after the parade, kind of go some, because you got Winterville Court over by Hillcrest. Then you go, you know, out there to Pinehurst or Pinewood. It's like 2 apartment complexes over there. And then, of course, I ask you, don't forget Lane Street.
Yes.
Because that's like a pocket of Hispanic
It
neighborhood
is,
down here.
here.
And then you might want to go over there, Mashana, over there in Newtown. Might want to go through there. And really on my street, you know, we don't have, you know, everybody's senior citizen. And but behind me are Ola around in there, there's some children.
Yeah, they are. They're just getting older.
So might need to get them to just let you, you know, have a couple to just go around.
So with that being said, tentatively, prospectively, hopefully, we'll be able to participate with or without, with golf carts, hopefully. But then we also want to, I guess, purchase some candies from us. We know Chamber of Commerce is something totally separate, so we are going to want to purchase candy to give out, and that will come out of our budget.
And we need a backup plan for that.
We need a backup, or we can set up a trunk, and set it up in the said area, or let's drive around. Each one of us drive around with.
You know, motorcycle groups, you think any of those would participate?
Okay, so they're allowing other.
I'm not saying that, I'm saying as a, not with them, but as your own thing. If you can't get one, then you could get the other.
We could always ask, they may be willing, as part of.
Because it is a girl group with purple sun. I'm not in touch with them anymore, I've seen them.
Oh, there's also car clubs, but there's lots of, you know, organizations that will probably want to partner with us in giving back to the youth during, this season of treats given out. So as a backup plan, I don't know, I know of car clubs, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have a question. What are we gonna do once we go to the community? I'm lost, you said we're gonna go to the community, what are we doing?
So with going into the community, we are giving out treats, giving out candy, just sharing, letting the kids know that we are here, letting the community know that we are launching out to them. Why is that important? And the purpose of it is because if some of them cannot get to the Fright Fest, we want to include them in what is happening in the town on that day.
25th is available. 25th is available for the depot.
Oh, it is?
I shot Jesse a message. He says it's available.
And that's so amazing, but I think at this,
I know it's off subject,
Yeah,
but I
no.
know it's something that would be important to this meeting. He said that October 25th is available.
So, and it's great, it's available. I think, Councilwoman Robinson, the board tell me, did y'all wanna stay with spring, or do you wanna try to do something October 24th?
Well, especially with this event on the 26th.
Okay.
With the Trump.
Okay, I'm up.
We
That's
definitely
good.
appreciate
You were
her sending
able to
back.
get- And that was a good turnaround, and we got that instant information.
Going back, so if you go into a community, you give out candy, what do you sit up at and how do the kids know that you are there? Oh, I'm sorry. Say no. No, seriously, but once we go, I'm just gonna use Hillcrest. We go into Hillcrest. What do we sit up at, and how do the kids know who we are and what we're there for?
So that's a good question. Anybody else want to answer?
I think the ideal thing would be to see if we can be a part of the golf cart parade and see if they go in the neighborhood, because then we can just hand out candy. That's easy. But if we're unable to get a golf cart, are we still staying with the 26th date? And are we just gonna go to the neighborhoods and cars? I don't know.
I thought we were gonna have something set up at the event here in Winterville. What is the event called, Mr. Hardy?
The front.
Friday night.
Fright Fest.
Fright Fest.
Have a table set up at the event, so we will be out there. And Ms. Hawkins brought up going out, I guess some of the members going out to some of the neighborhoods that, you know, have children that may not be able to attend, on the golf carts. That way.
But in essence, we will have a table regardless of whether we have golf carts or not, we'll have a table there. Is that what we're?
Yes.
So we'll have a table and a presence at the Fright Fest. But and the purpose of what we will do the Fright Fest will be advertised, but the Winterville Human Relations Board can also advertise that they will be collaborating with the Fright Fest, but then also going into the neighborhoods. We can identify certain neighborhoods, and then, of course, our presence will be our T-shirts. It will, I don't know, we don't have a sign or anything on our cars or whatever we will have, but we will be present, and I think just advertising it, that we will be a part of it.
The idea is that it's kind of reverse trick or treat. So them come to us, we're gonna go to them, the ones that,
Understand. What I don't understand, this is great, because kids can go out trick or treat on the 31st. But we're gonna show up on the 26th to pass out candy, but who gonna know we're there, and who are we? I mean, where we gonna, Hillcrest is a neighborhood, so are we gonna set up here? Where are we gonna set up at? So that kids know that we're there and what we're there for.
We can set up at the Hillcrest Park. That's a target and common area. We could, and that's just an idea. It is a public place, they have tables, they have pavilions, to set up there for a moment in time, but then there's also little other areas, for example, Lane Street, that's not readily by the Hillcrest Park, but just going to, we might be able to identify 2 or 3 key areas internally. And I think you're right, Halloween or trick-or-treating is usually the 31st. But since the town overall and Chamber of Commerce was giving something, we wanted to collaborate on that date, but then also include myself. I would not want to collaborate and participate while I thought children internally or other children were not, had access to what was happening in the town. That's just me, but collectively as a board, we need to make a decision. I could always just go over there and give out candy.
So we probably should identify specifically where we're gonna be, Hillcrest Park. And I know Ms. Robinson mentioned Lane Street as well. I'm not sure where that is. But I was also thinking about Pinewood. I know there's a lot of kids over there in that
Yes.
neighborhood, as well as Winterville apartments.
I'm thinking, should someone contact the Chamber of Commerce, and I could do it maybe tomorrow,
Yeah.
to see where the golf cart parade is going, just so we won't.
The route,
Right, so we won't.
that's a good idea, if you could do that. That would help us now, because if they're going there, one of those areas, we won't have to worry about targeting that. You said Hillcrest, Pinewood, Wintergreen, and Lane Street. So that's 4 areas. I know Hillcrest Park, available. Even if other people are out there, just us setting up and having a presence is gonna bring those children up, because a lot of children do walk to the Hillcrest Park. How do we get the word out? It's just, with Fright Fest going on, Human Relations Board, are going to be present at Fright Fest and within various communities.
So, we definitely have to, decide on the areas, because there's only 7 of us. So that means we need at least 2 people in each location.
Yeah.
Table, you know what I'm saying, and we need to decide on like, how long are we spending at this location? Are we going to Hillcrest from 3 to 3:30, and then we're moving on, and gonna be somewhere else from 4 to 4:30, and then, so we have to really think about all that as well.
I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the table at Hillcrest, especially if we're gonna have a table at the Fright Fest. It's kind of like with the town doing something, not that we're working against them, but it's kind of like we're maybe drawing people away from the Fright Fest. So I'm all for the golf cart idea, and maybe if the golf cart parade doesn't go through these specific neighborhoods, maybe we can still go there, I don't know, honk the horn, pass out candy, and, because it's kind of like a event instead of setting up against.
Being
I agree.
stationary.
Right.
I agree
Just,
with that.
okay.
Since you're
Drive
going
through.
to call the chamber and ask about the route, is it possible that you ask them if particular, citizens that have golf carts that are participating would be willing to veer off a little bit to get to those areas? Because most of the time, the stuff is, on Main Street, right? So that's right there by Hillcrest anyway. They could, is that close to Main? Is that close? It's not?
Hillcrest is not close to
No.
any of the routes that's used. I think, but if I'm not mistaken, that golf cart thing went down Railroad Street. Excuse me, Mr. Bob.
No, ma'am.
I'm saying excuse me because I was talking to Mary Jane.
Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry, I can wait. But my question is, when you do a parade, the roads have got to be blocked off, police has got to block off these roads. So the golf cart parade cannot leave from point A to go to point B. And I'm not trying to go against
No,
anything you're
it's
saying,
good
I agree with
conversation.
everything. But the golf cart parade cannot go to Hillcrest unless there's some kind of roadblocks. And then they go from there to Lane Street, again, police got to get there, block these roads out. So that's not gonna happen.
Well, we do have two things, because they're starting at two separate times. So if they're already gonna be ready at 6 p.m. to do this parade, what are they doing at, let's say, 4 to 5? Because they're already gonna be out, they're already gonna be ready to do a parade. Do they have an hour that they can give to us before they line up for that parade to go into a couple of weeks? So they're gonna be out anyway. If the Fright Fest starts at 3 to 6 and the parade doesn't start to 6, do they have an hour within that 3 to 6 window that we can utilize?
But again, if you do a parade, that's, you want one vehicle behind the next vehicle, you got to shut off the roads.
Yeah, but the Fright Fest starts from 3 to 6,
And
so
that's
we were
going
trying to
crazy.
utilize them before the parade.
So you got to have police go out and block out these road crowd too?
No, we're thinking that an individual golf cart to just take
An
us
individual,
through,
not a parade,
not the
just-
whole parade.
Oh,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
sorry,
there's a
I'm
couple
sorry.
about that,
I'm
yes.
sorry, I'm
No,
sorry.
just utilizing maybe 2 or 3 to actually go in, so that we're
Prior to
not
the
walking
Right.
and we can get inside with the community.
Right, because I was gonna say the parade, it's got to shut off those roads.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So if they have, you know, 1 or 2 golf carts that are like, hey, we're available from 4 to 5, we can take y'all inside of Hillcrest, we can take you over to Lane Street before it's time for us to line up for the parade. Is that something that they're willing to do? You know, maybe that's the follow.
I think that that's a good idea. It won't be an additional parade, it won't, it will eliminate having the main parade to have to veer off, because maybe one or up to 3 golf carts can go, or maybe 4 golf carts. One could go to Hillcrest, Lane, Pinewood, Wintergreen, and then that will eliminate us also having to be stationary there. We can just, that would be a greater benefit, to have us, you know, go there and then come back and then be in the regular parade. And I don't know if this makes it any difficult, but sometimes I just feel like it's worth it to get into these areas. Because I'm not predicting that they won't be able to get to the Fright Fest, but a lot of these young children can't make it from Hillcrest or Lane Street and Pinewood and Wintergreen over here, because it's gonna be held here on this street. Ms. Gregory, maybe reach out to them, prospectively just asking them, would y'all happen to have additional golf carts prior to the parade that can take Human Relations Board member or two to these 4 designated places? Because we want to just make sure that those children get treats as well.
And what are those places that you're?
Hillcrest, Lane Street, Pinewood, and Wintergreen. And of course, whatever answer they give will help us. And if they say no, then no, I mean, and I'm okay with after the parade or before the parade, just driving over there and just.
So with us having a table set up for Fright Fest, what type of information are we gonna have at that table about us and what we want the community to know? Because that's gonna be a good opportunity. There may be another good opportunity for our surveys. I think our surveys should follow us at every event. So what other information do we want on that table that can be readily available so that they know?
So, and I would say the survey, I would also say, applications on interest for youth to participate, because we have a subcommittee, that we have branched with, the Human Relations Board, and we want to get youth, involved. Specifically asking the youth, what do they want to see here in Winterville? What would they like to participate in? And that could be an extension of the survey, But also, like I said, Mrs. Leary, like maybe when parents pass by with their children, just sharing a little bit about us, that there's a youth subcommittee, that they are more than welcome to apply, or, you know, their parents would have to give them permission to be a part of it. And I can't think of anything else at this time, except for some of the events that we have done, and some things like, we haven't even got to past October on the roadmap. But of course, I know we want to do something for Thanksgiving. Perhaps we could have a community, dinner, whatever. But that is the intricacies with the roadmap.
A lot of the groups have games,
I believe.
a game, so that might be something might want to consider.
I like that. We could have an area with some games for them and stop and participate. That's a great idea. Maybe, I'm quite sure they have some face painting, but maybe we could have face painting over at our area.
And they do have arts and crafts people there too. So if somebody you know that does make something, they like to sell, you know, if there's an entry fee or not.
And that's good, in terms of if we're gonna be there, now that we say games, face painting, prizes, that will come out of our budget. So, candy, of course, candy bags, you know, water, something like that. We already have a tent, we already have a table, we already have a cooler. So we don't have to get that, like Mr. Harvey said, that's something we will have each time. So, unless we want to talk more about what games or painting or prizes, these are things, perhaps we could collaborate about, now or via, the computer. Yes.
We have a meeting before then, just to tie everything up. Do we have another meeting before? I'm not saying wait till then, I'm just saying, just so we can make sure we have
Right,
everything
tie
finalized.
everything,
Yeah.
Really quick on the survey, guys, we're gonna be using it at the next event. I did send an email if, you guys see anything on the survey, if you would like to add, please let me know so I can make updates to it, so we can have it ready for Halloween. I know I did get one person feedback, which that's already done. So if you guys feel as though something was missing that needs to be up there, just let me know. Update that.
And then, I know we'll have our T-shirts. Make sure everybody does have a T-shirt. We would have to get, Ms. Daniels a T-shirt.
I didn't get a new t-shirt.
We have some new T-shirts. Mr. Harvey, do we still have additional T-shirts?
We have what was left over from,
The Watermelon Festival.
Watermelon Festival.
So there are some, it was about 5 or 6. It's some, can, members stop by your office, or how would they get?
Just as long as they make arrangements with me so I can make sure that I'll be there.
Yeah.
Hate for you to drop in and I not be there.
What about the name tags? Did they come in yet? Your name tags?
Not yet, they're working on it.
Okay,
They should be ready by that time.
Okay.
so we have name tags, and I would say, Ms. Daniels would also need a name tag as well. While we're speaking, I know the last time we were here, we made a unanimous, motion for Shantasia Morris to be part of the Human Relations Board, as a college member, is in here somewhere. However, this was not brought back to town council.
I've got it on the agenda, the draft agenda now, at this point, to be on the October 13th meeting.
Sure, and I would like to just say to anyone listening, anyone present, if you would like to be a part of the Human Relations Board as part of the youth subcommittee or college member, I don't know if any additional applications came in, but you are valuable and we want you to be a part of it, and even just your participation means a lot because you are also a great part of the town. So at this time, we are at about 8:30 and we want to respect the board members' time. It is a Thursday evening. Many of us have to get to work first thing in the morning.
I make one more announcement from the, county. On February 17th or the 21st, they're going to have a Black History program, and the objective is to honor Mr. Harry Teal with a proclamation, a resolution, and a reception at the new government center over, in Government Circle, that gym. He was here when you did
Yes,
town forum, whatever it was we had, you remember?
we have.
He was here and I had him to tell
He
who he
sure did.
was.
Yes.
And, he was one of the defendants on the, court case that desegregated schools here in Pitt County. But during that time of our meeting last week, I found out his name was the first name, but there were others et al. And so, the Human Relations Board is going to do research to find out who the et al. Are and have them there to honor them too, so they won't just honor one person. I didn't get to the community breakfast this morning. Did anybody go?
I did. It was really nice.
I got 2 dates down here, so I'm thinking that maybe they're looking at them the 17th or the 24th of February. I didn't get to it this morning.
Yeah, no, I didn't get to it either, but I'm quite sure it was wonderful, as it always is. But thank you, Councilwoman Robertson. We would love, as a board, to be present. You said February 17th, did we?
Or the 24th.
Or the 21st.
The date's not set yet, but,
Because we had to get in touch with him and his family.
right.
So that will be historical. He's a very historical person in terms of civil rights and education here in our county. He will be honored. It would be great if we could be present, as we are Human Relations Board. So thank you for that announcement. And that's in February, but we know it's part of our plan, planning forward. And so we are concluding item number 3, upcoming activities. Again, we have a running document for the roadmap. Ms. Daniels, we will share it with you.
Thank you.
And that's for like now through next year, and all things that attach with the prospective activities, because then that will help us with our budget and adjusting that. And then now we're at the portion of our agenda, board member general comments. Did any board member have a comment about tonight or moving forward? The floor is yours. I hear no comments, but before we adjourn, I would like to restate the mission statement again. That's important and the very reason why we're here. And it is promoting a community of whole person wellness, dignity, safety, equity, and inclusion for all citizens of Winterville. And I think that a lot of our discussion, our work, our thoughts, our preparation, just decisions, honed in on that mission statement. And I'm grateful to be sitting with everyone up here. Thank you. And if there is nothing else, I'd like to pose a motion. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion made by Mr. Bottoms to adjourn. Can we have a second?
Second?
And we have a seconded by Vice Chair Carmen. Can we have a show of hands in agreement to the motion to adjourn? And it is unanimous, and we are officially adjourned. Thank y'all.
How do y'all feel about marketing the video?
Well, she be looking at us. She
I know, she waiting.